Hello special ones, welcome to my channel. This is Lifestyle Gardener. Today I am going to preserve about 5 pounds of tomatoes. I got them on when they were on sale about the other day, and stay tuned and I'll show you how I preserve them. This is what they look like. I am going to start to wash them and I show you what I do next. So now I am going to remove the middle part inside of the tomato. I won't remove the skin today, but if you want to remove the skin, you can do that. But the skin does not bother me because I'm planning on using these tomatoes maybe to make salsa when I want to make a quick salsa in the future, or maybe to use it in homemade tomato soup or stew or something like that. So this is why I am not going to remove the skin. As you notice, I cut them in big chunks, and I also did not remove the seed. If you're going to use these tomatoes to make barbecue sauce, pasta, or ketchup, homemade ketchup, it's best to remove as much of the seed as possible because it makes those products a little bit bitter if you have too many seeds in it. But I'm not going to be using these tomatoes for that. I'm just going to be using it to make small servings of salsa, or maybe a small serving of soup, or put it in stew and stuff like that. So that does not concern me. So after I chop everything, I put the tomatoes in the pot, and I put the pot on the stove, and then I turn it on and I bring it to a boil and I process it for 20 minutes before I remove it. And then after I remove it, I use a hand masher to mash the tomatoes as much as possible. If you would like to use a blender or a processor to do this process, you can do that, but you're gonna have to let the tomato go more like near to a room temperature before you do that. This is what it looks like after I did all of that. Sterilize the bottles in hot water on the stove at least for 10 minutes, or in the oven, I believe, for 10 minutes at 200 to 250 degrees. So next I put about a teaspoon of lemon concentrate juice inside each bottles. This will just help the tomatoes to be more acidy, just for safety reason. Then next I start putting the tomatoes in the pot in each containers. As you can see, I put a funnel on top of the bottles. This will just help prevent me from making too much mess while doing that. So afterwards, I got a chopstick and I debubbled the tomato sauce. This is recommended anytime you have liquid and solid product mixed together. And this will help prevent any stifling when you are processing any product. Next, I take vinegar with a paper towel, and I'm going to use that to wipe down the rim of each container, just in case if I accidentally spilled any tomatoes around the container. If I don't clean that area, it can prevent the product from sealing when it's being processed. So after I did that process, I got the lids that I sterilized in hot water, and I'm going to use the magnet to put it on the bottle. So after I fill the steam canner with some water just underneath the tray that is inside the steam canner, I put a little bit of vinegar in there, and then I'm taking the tomatoes and tomato bottles and I'm putting them on top of the tray inside the steam canner. Afterwards, I take the cover and I cover the steam canner, and then I bring it over to the stove and I turn it on, and then I will wait until my zone level comes on at the top of the steam canner, which is dark green color, and then when it gets to that color, I will set my timer for 35 minutes. After 35 minutes, I turn off the stove and I let everything stay in the canner for 5 minutes before I remove them. And this is what they look like after I remove them from the steam canner. I am gonna let everything come to a complete cooled, and then afterwards I am going to check to make sure everything is sealed. I remove the rim and test the lids to make sure it's sealed, and after that, once I make sure everything is sealed, I will wash them down with a little bit of soap and water and let it air dry, and then I will label them. Then I'll put the date on them, and then I will put them in my pantry. Well, anyhow, you guys, I will talk to you another day. Bye for now.